Hello, my name is Derek Vaughan. I'm a Labour MEP representing Wales in the UK. I'm also a member of the Budget Committee, Budget Control Committee and the Regional Development Committee. I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to speak to you today, and I wanted to thank the Romanian Centre for European Expertise for organising the conference and for asking me to speak to the event. Unfortunately, I can't be with you today, but I'm sure it's going to be a well-attended event, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success. You will all be aware that our towns and cities are home to nearly 3/4 of the EU's population, and you'll also be aware that cities are regarded as key economic drivers in the European Union. That's why there's been increasing calls for concrete action to improve the focus of urban development right across the European Union. Indeed, the last Commissioner for Regional Development, Vaughan, was very keen on this. Coming from Austria and Vienna, he put a huge focus on the urban agenda and city policy, and that's been continued by the current Commissioner. And I'm also pleased to say that work has already begun to assist, address and help urban design in European cities. We know, for example, that the European Commission launched a public consultation in July 2014, which led to a number of EU policies on the topic. We also know that in the current cohesion policy programme 2014 to 2020, a number of new instruments were introduced to help improve the urban agenda and cities policy. So, for example, under the current cohesion policy programme, cities can be allocated a percentage of ERDF funding, and I know a number of member states and regions have been looking to do that. I'm also pleased to say that when the Netherlands had the presidency of the European Union, urban policy was one of their main areas of focus. And as a result of that focus, in May of 2016, the Pact of Amsterdam was signed, which gave a binding political commitment to deliver on the promise of a EU urban agenda. And I'm also pleased to say that it's not just talk, but also that there have been some concrete measures put in place to drive forward the urban agenda right across the European Union. So, for example, urban partnerships will be set up for 12 themes to identify issues that need to be addressed to enhance the urban dimension of any given policy area. So, for example, these themes will include jobs and skills, urban poverty, housing and air quality, all vital and important issues to be addressed if we are to improve the life and economy of cities and urban areas. In addition to that, urban innovative actions were launched on the 15th of December 2015. These urban innovative actions make funding available for urban authorities. This funding can provide them with a low-risk means of testing experimental solutions to urban development, which then hopefully can be rolled out right across the European Union. A total budget of €372 million over a 7-year period has been made available for these urban innovation actions. I'm also pleased to say that we now have 8 urban partnerships already in operation, and in April of this year, more urban partnerships were announced. In addition to that, a permanent secretariat has been set up to promote the urban agenda, and new resources such as the launch of a specialist one-stop shop and website has also been launched. So, for example, this website provides cities with information about the urban agenda, about funding, about access to databases, and also promotes knowledge and expertise sharing on best policy on urban issues. So I think from those few examples, it's fair to say that the urban agenda has been given greater focus by the European Union. Of course, all these new things don't come about without difficulties, and we know there's been some criticism that the geographical balance isn't correct in terms of these new urban partnerships. So, for example, in the initial partnerships established, none came from Eastern Europe, and also there's been some criticism of the fact that certainly in the early stages the focus has been on larger cities, not on smaller cities and towns. And these are two issues which need to be addressed, and I'm pleased to say this has been picked up by the European Parliament, and we'll be trying to redress the balance in terms of geography and in terms of size of cities which receive support. In terms of what's going to happen in the future, that's the big question. What's going to happen to urban policy post-2020? We know, for example, that after the UK leaves the European Union, and I have to say I'm really disappointed with that. I think it's a terrible decision. I hope it can be reversed, but I'm not sure it will be. But if the UK does leave the European Union in 2019, we know there'll be less money available to the EU, because the UK provides over 10% of EU funds. So less money for everything, less money for cohesion policy, less money for the urban agenda as well. But I would say, in conclusion, that although things will be difficult in the future in terms of the budget, the urban agenda, the position of cities and urban areas is now very much on the agenda. It's in focus. So whatever happens with the EU budget, whatever happens with the future cohesion policy, I'm pretty certain that the EU will remain focused on the urban agenda post-2020. I'll leave it there. That's my contribution. I hope you found it useful, and I wish you every success in the rest of your conference.